left in some other scenes that were even more stupid. So, I mean, the original's still 5, and with this, I'd still give it a 6. I'd give it a 6 just because, like...
Slightly above average.
It's slightly above average now because you're no longer running around in the dark without a flashlight. They're like, here's a little bit of light.
Yeah. Joe?
Actually, I don't remember what I gave it. I think it was like a 6 or 7. I said it was above average, and it's going to stay the same.
Just the same. This doesn't add enough to you.
No, it's like, yeah, it does clear up some stuff, but overall, not going to save it.
For me, guys, I'm ending up at a 5 out of 10. The extended cut does make the film better, but it's not going to correct all the ridiculous mistakes, all the stupid situations. It's not going to change Lex's character. It's not going to change Doomsday's character. It's not going to change, a lot of this stuff. What it does do, though, and I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I'm raising my score because I feel that it does enough, Joe, to get an extra point. Because what do we get? Well, we get more context behind the fight of Superman and Batman. Superman, Clark Kent gets a lot of footage here. Clark Kent is an actual reporter here. We get to see him go to Gotham. We get to see him talk with residents in Gotham, talk about how they're scared of the Batman, and it gives a whole lot more context to their fight leading up there. It gives more emotional weight to the Superman character. There's more Superman in this film, and all this Superman and Lois stuff gets cut in favor of a shorter runtime. Now, honestly, they couldn't have shown the film at 3 hours. I don't think any theater would have tolerated
Lord
that.
of the Rings is like the only thing that got away with that, and Titanic.
Yeah, but even Lord of the Rings and Titanic, I don't think lasted 3 hours. They pretty much lasted as long as they could last. Yeah. I'm glad that I've seen the extended cut. I think now it's the only way to watch the film now in order to make it somewhat more coherent. Because there are some really important things that it left out. So, does the extended cut make it better? Yes. Is it worth buying? How about this question? In my opinion, yes. Buy the Blu-ray, buy the DVD. However, what's bullshit, though, is that we watched it right now. This is 3 weeks early from when it's actually supposed to release. The only way we got to watch this is a digital copy, a digital HD copy. They've got lots of, this is just so much bullshit, because this is $20, and the fucking physical copy with, by the way, a digital copy that comes with it free, the ultraviolet, the DVD, the Blu-ray, it comes with everything, plus all the additional features, all the commentary, all those little special features. And that's like $24, $25. So you're paying a huge premium right now, $20 to see this thing at home 3 weeks early. That's fucking bullshit. Screw you, Warner Brothers, for doing that. But honestly, Sony does it too. A lot of the movie companies are doing this, where the movies are hitting your house earlier. They're experimenting with this idea, since theaters are sort of failing, except for the theaters here that serve beer and food and have comfy chairs. Clueless. Okay, y'all guys need to do more of that. Anyways, so getting back to the extended cut, let's talk about how it did improve the film for us. Let's go. The very first extended scene was what, Del? What did they extend on first? They
showed more of what was going on with the whole, Middle Eastern thing where they were framing Superman. And one of the biggest things they did, they didn't do in the original movie, was they just showed a bunch of people getting shot, Superman showing up, and everyone's like, he did this! Superman shot up! What? Yeah. But in this extended cut, they actually had 5 minutes of footage of them burning the bodies, showing a drone strike, explaining more background, things like that, to where you're like, oh, that's how they thought it was Superman, because they make him look like he eye lasered everybody. Yeah.
They add a little bit more in with the U.S. military being there, these special ops soldiers that are supposed to go in and stop these warlords or whatnot. And the U.S. is monitoring the situation with the drone, ready to do a drone strike on these terrorists, right? So they add that element, and they utilize Jimmy Olsen, which this is just one of the things that shows why Zack Snyder is a fucking sniveling idiot and didn't really deserve to continue this, or he just doesn't understand the Superman character. I don't want to call him, that's pretty harsh. because I actually liked Man of Steel. But in here, it's like he completely forgot what he learned in Man of Steel and how he depicted Superman there, which was still dark. But this is like abyss dark, you know, and it's just all wrong. But anyway, in this film, he kills off Jimmy Olsen, and he laughs about it. You know, it's like there's no purpose to put Jimmy Olsen in here when you already created a brand new character, Jenny Olsen, to replace Jimmy Olsen. So did these two characters have relation? No, they're not relation. He just put Jimmy Olsen in there just to kill him off, you know. And he said that in some of the interviews, and it's just like a prodding at fan. Okay, anyway, so that was supposed to tie in with the U.S. military. The CIA operative was supposed to tie in over there so that they could do their drone strike. They realized that the shit has been compromised or something, and so they said, let's just blow everything up, right? And so no, let's not blow everything up because we realized that Lois is there and we got operatives on the ground. But the U.S. military, I think, is like, fuck it anyway, let's just blow that shit up. And so the drone is coming down, fires a missile in order to blow up the Afghanistan. And see, that would have made more sense because then people would have been like, that has to be Superman. The whole place is fucking wrecked. He just came down and just did his eye lasers everywhere, just blew the whole place up, right? Instead of Superman using bullets. It would have made more sense. But Superman stops that drone, right? Wrecks the freaking drone, and then proceeds to go and kill that guy that you saw Superman kill in the first 15 minutes, which didn't make any damn sense. There was so much build up to him actually having to take out Zod, and how emotionally turmoil it affected him that he would never kill again, and all that stuff. And they immediately fuck up the Superman character within the first 15 minutes. Now, you guys are, oh, look, he's unconscious. That dude that he blew through the wall. No, that fucking dude is dead. Rewatch
3 walls.
We watched this 5
3
times.
concrete walls.
I watched it 5 times. He murders that dude that's got a gun to Lois's head. And anyway,
If not, he would have been in court with all cast up. Yes, I was there. I saw everything.
so that's the other thing that they expand on. The character who I hated in the film is this lady who I guess, I don't know whether this is Afghanistan or Africa, I forgot where it was, but somewhere out there. And she testifies against Superman. She's like, he came to my village, everybody was killed, and the government, he devastated the government, came and killed even more people, he's responsible. I hated her. I was like, what the fuck? You lying ass bitch! You coming out of nowhere? You weren't even there? No, what the fuck you talking about? Well, it turns out that in this extended cut, she gets fleshed out, and she's in the movie throughout, and you realize something super important. She was lying. That's huge context to this.
Cut something else out. That is a major.
She lied to the senator. She ran to the and towards the end, when things are starting to unravel, and Lex is applying too much pressure on her family and friends, and she's getting scared, she runs to that senator and says, "I lied, you know, and I lied about this." And I was like, okay, this gives way more context. So that's one of the huge things that they took out. That it was Lex and Lois going and finding what Lex is doing. They did have there's probably 2 things that they could have left out of the extended cut that felt like it should have been left out. There's some cops, you know, the cops that find Batman in the building. And Joe pointed this out. When Batman's all up in the corner like this, he's like, how did he not see him?
He's like right next to the light.
It's like a 7-foot Batman. He doesn't see him. Anyway, those 2 cops get way too much time. There's like a minute where they're just like eating donuts and drinking, watching a football game. And
like,
so
guys, report to this crime. Report to this. Yeah. It's like, oh, it's a close game. What's going on?
Yeah. And see, this football game, I forget where it was filmed. I thought it was filmed in Austin, just this one little bit for the football game where Metropolis is going against Gotham. And they show the score. Metropolis is absolutely destroying Gotham. It's like 58-0 here. And Gotham football players are getting so frustrated that they just keep piling on the score. They start shoving each other. And it's supposed to foreshadow the fight between Gotham and Metropolis, Superman and Batman. But it didn't make sense because later on in the film, you see how it links in with Perry coming in, and he doesn't want Clark Kent to write about Batman. He wants him to write about football. And one of the lines he uses is underdog's dream, Gotham underdog's dream dash 10 yards from glory, as if the game was super close and maybe Gotham could have won or something, or maybe he was being sarcastic, but it didn't make sense with what the score that we saw earlier, and so that's probably why they left it out, and it should have been left out of the extended cut because it just didn't make sense here. Now, after that, Joe, what was some other things here? We had Clark talking with the reporters.
The courtroom one.
Mm-hmm.
We have that one.
What was the courtroom one?
So basically, the courtroom one is Superman finally shows up to trial, and the explosion happens, and he's like, "I can't believe I missed it." He's like, "I wasn't looking for it, and this and that." But come to find out, with this extended cut, his chair's made out of lead.
Okay, so it's not really the courtroom. I think it's this one character. A lot was made about a particular actress who was cut from the film, and everybody was wondering her role. Turns out she's this scientist who Lois is bringing the bullet to. She's talking to her about a lot of stuff, and she helps Lois investigate. And what Joe's talking about is this particular character lets Lois know that this wheelchair was lead lined, and somehow Lois knows that Superman can't see through lead. So they've been together, so I can buy that, right? And so she knows that, and she realizes, wait a minute, Superman didn't simply miss it, and he's like being rough on himself because he's like, I wasn't looking for it, it was my fault. He literally could not see it. So that's another huge context thing.
And Lex got lucky, because there's no way he would have known.
No, Joe, what are you talking about?
About the lead, Superman can't see.
Oh yeah, no, okay. I thought you were like, I was like, Lex planned the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
You're talking about he got
lead.
lucky with the lead.
No, he
right?
didn't get lucky because he had to go through X-rays to get into the courthouse anyway to get a bomb through the X-ray scanning.